or emphysema. Over time, it makes you feel like you're breathing through a straw. COPD is the fourth leading cause of death in the U.S. It kills one person every 4 minutes, and it took my uncle. An estimated 24 million Americans may be affected, but as many as half of them don't even know it. We have to beat the clock to spread the word about this serious disease. If you're 35 or older and have ever smoked, you might be at risk, but there are steps you can take to improve your symptoms. I'm Michael Strahan, and I drive for COPD. Join the movement at driveforcopd.com. Take our 5-question screener and talk to your doctor.
Happy, healthy, and wealthy. Follow the American dream. On South Florida's AM 1470 WNN.
It's the hottest new addiction recovery mega community on the web, Rockers in Recovery. Music, news, interviews, events, and festivals with an insider's angle to the rock and roll industry, all backed up by artists who are in recovery and support recovery, featuring dozens of rock legends like former Joan Jett and the Blackhearts lead guitarist Ricky Byrd, Richie Supa of Aerosmith, and tons more. It's a worldwide music and media festival at your fingertips. Get inside the rock and roll recovery scene with a click of your mouse. Click rockersinrecovery.com. That's rockersinrecovery.com.
Hey, this is John Hollis with Rockers in Recovery. We want to thank our sponsor for tonight's show, Hyperbarics RX. You can reach them at hyperbaricsrx.com, or you can reach them at 877-589-9998. Thank you.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. This is the Rockers in Recovery radio show dedicated to news, interviews, events, and festivals taking place in the rock and roll industry and in the role of bands and musicians who support recovery. Find out more by going to holisticlifestylesradio.com or join Rockers in Recovery on Facebook. Now, the host of Rockers in Recovery, here's John Hollis.
Hey, Chris West here for Rockers in Recovery, and right now on the phone, I got my man, Kevin King. Kevin, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Chris, having a beautiful day up here in Philadelphia at Sober Stock. It's a great crowd. We've got about 80 degrees down here, and we're looking forward to this day. It looks like a fun day of recovery, man. Really good time. So what we're going to do, Chris, real quick, we're going to bring Marty Hottenstein. I was just busting her because she said not say Steen, but Marty Hottenstein, we're going to bring her on the air, and we're going to talk about how to Save a Life Foundation and what's going on today. So, Marty, let us know about how to Save a Life Foundation.
Well, back in 2006, my name is Marty Hottenstein, and I am the founder and president of How to Save a Life Foundation. Back in September 2006, my son went to try to get help. He had never been into a treatment facility before in his life, and he was addicted to Oxycontin. And he knew I was in recovery 19 years about this time, and he came to me and he said, Mom, I'm addicted and I need help. And he said, before this gets any worse, I need to get help. He was first in a car accident, and the doctor prescribed him oxycodone, and then he became addicted. He had prior addiction before, but managed to get some time clean. But after taking the oxycodone, it just kicked it all off again. And he was denied treatment at the local hospital, and then he went to a facility to have an assessment. He was suicidal. He was going through withdrawal, and they said he wasn't bad enough, and they turned him away. 6 weeks later, I found my son dead in his apartment. Saturday, I went over to his house to check on him. I was very close with my son. I had him when I was 16, and I went over to his house Saturday, and he was going through withdrawal. So Sunday, I went over there, and my husband and I found him dead, and my world fell apart. They told me, when I was first getting into recovery, that there'd be a time when it was me, God, and a drink or a drug. And that was October 22nd, 2006. And there my world came crumbling in. 19 years clean, I couldn't believe that my son was dead, that I couldn't do anything, and I had to bury my son sober. And so on my son's birthday, June 21st, 2007, going through a lot of emotional pain, I decided that I was going to do a scholarship once a year in regards to my son's memory. And I called a local facility called Living Grid, and I asked them if I could do a scholarship, and they said yes. So I got a phone call, and it was the same story as my son, who was being rejected, this to Jeff. And so I met the parent and him, his mother and him, at a local hospital, and I took him to Living Grid Foundation in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. And as I put this kid in treatment, I wondered why my son didn't get the treatment, and I cried the whole entire way home. And I actually screamed the whole way home. And the song from The Fray came on, How to Save a Life came on. And as I was crying to God, what to do, what did he want from me? Why me? I laid in bed, and I heard not an audio talk as if you and I were speaking, but I heard a word that came into my head and said, you need to help others. And so what happened was I helped one person, and my phone began to ring and ring and ring. And today, we put almost 400 people into treatment that would have been denied treatment. And people look at this as a moral issue, and it's a disease. It's not a disgrace. And so for a long time in my recovery, I knew not what to do. But after my son's death, I knew that I wanted to serve my son's name, and I wanted to serve my God. And I started a foundation called How to Save a Life Foundation. And ever since then, we've been doing fundraisers to get people into treatment. And today is a big festival called Soberstock. And we're trying to raise money so we can put more people into treatment so they don't have to die from a needless death. And I don't know, I give it all up to God. I just think God has used me because he knew how much I love my son. I still love my son. And I don't want any mom to be me, or I don't want any child to be my son. So I asked God where he wanted me, and this is where he wants me. So this is where I am today, trying to raise money.
Hey, Marty, this is just, I wish our listeners were sitting in this room with me. What a beautiful woman, and to hear the testimony of how she's reaching out to the recovery community in such a powerful way. And I really wish our audience was here, and I definitely make plans for next year to get the Soberstock 2012. But what I want to know today's a special event. What kind of bands and what kind of things go on at Soberstock so our listeners could get a picture, through the airwaves today of what would they expect at Soberstock and the kind of the crowd and the musicians that you have here today?
Well, it first starts off with my church leading us in prayer for the day because they stuck by me through the darkest time of my life and just kept showing me God's love. So they start off when we have a Christian band, and then the day gets a little jamming with some rock, and we have some rock and roll bands, and a lot of people, they're in recovery. And our main headliner today is Stephen Adler, who has Time Clean now. He was on Celebrity Rehab and Dr. Drew, and he has Time Clean now. And the crowd is just really excited. It's a celebration of recovery, but it's also a celebration and a liberation of putting people into treatment who deserve it. You can't turn these people away or they're going to die. And just the power and the compassion and the passion here is just amazing. And I just believe, we did everything we could, and now it's all up to God. And I just feel the Spirit here with us and the spirit of the people, the spirit of believing in the celebration of recovery, and it's just awesome. It's really awesome.
It's amazing, Marty. When I was asking you today, how does this all come together and what you need to do, you just kept saying it's just God. It just all comes together. What what a testimony to the 12-step process that everything is really about God. And what I'd like to know a little bit is just about, your personal walk, where you're from, and maybe your audience, know about that. And then just close it up a little bit with what would you say to somebody who's struggling with addiction on the other end. But first, just how you came upon your process of recovery, if you wouldn't mind.
When I got sober?
Yeah,
I got sober in 1987, and mine was basically, it was very hardcore how I got sober. My best friend was murdered from addiction. And it made me open my eyes, but what really made me open my eyes was my son knew I was an addict before I even knew I was an addict. I was so in denial that I couldn't even put the puzzle together that was like connected dots. And I remember my last drunk when my son looked in my eyes and he cried. And many days I stayed sober for my son on the days I couldn't stay sober for myself. And to tell you the truth, I always believed that I was really spiritual. But now I know that through my tragedy and through the darkness of losing my son, Carl Hottenstein, that I have never been stronger with God because he brought me out of the darkness when I didn't think I could live, when I didn't think I could take another step, when I didn't think I could stay sober for another day. He just gave me so much mercy and grace. And I just kept praying, and I kept praying that he would show me the way. And he showed me the way that I didn't have to pick up a drink or a drug no matter what happened, and that he loved me. And it's like a puzzle. Sometimes we can't find that missing part of the puzzle. But God might have it in his hand. No, God does have it in his hand. And God gently places that piece, that broken piece, that broken piece of person, and just picks them up and puts them back together, because there's no drug that could fix my broken heart. From Liz and Carl, there was no person, there was no place, there was no thing. It's just my higher power, and he healed me. And I cried tears because I never thought I would get better. And now I'm finding some peace, because it's in Isaiah that God will take a good man to save many other good men. We hear sayings like that all through, recovery process. Some people have to die for others to live. And my son was born through Jesus. And that's my story. And I give it all the glory. And anything that happens today, and whether it's something that happens, further down the line, it's all God's work. I'm just the instrument. I'm just that channel that we talk about in the St. Francis prayer. And I know I'm stronger than ever. God got me out of the darkness, and I am now walking in the light. And that's my story.
That's wonderful. If you're just listening in, you're listening to Rockers in Recovery with Kevin King. We're up at Sober Stock 2011 in the Philadelphia area talking to Marty Hottenstein. And it's just been an incredible presence of God here. And I just pray that over the airways right now that you can hear the presence of God about, what Marty was talking about, that, some do die so others can live. And this is an amazing thing, Marty. 400 people you brought in recovery, and it's just beginning. And the last thing I want to go out with, what would you tell somebody? Because we do listen, people at jails are listening to our show right now, and people struggling with addiction, and they're on the rack or possibly smoking too much crack, and they're wondering, there's no hope. They don't see the pieces of the puzzle like you were talking about. What could you tell somebody listening right now who really needs to hear a word of encouragement before we go?
I would tell them, no matter what goes down, you just don't pick up a drink or a drug. And you know what? Some days, just being clean has to be good enough. And it's just it's the end. It's really the beginning. And tell the disease to get behind you. And tell your God to get in front of you. And tell the disease to get behind you, because whatever situation you are, And if it's in you because you're in the darkness, it's probably because of that disease that you thought was your friend and really was next and was your enemy.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Marty. Thank you so much for being on Rockers in Recovery. You're now part of the Rocker in Recovery family. We look forward to hopefully you getting down to the Keys, to the 12-Step Music Fest. And just to know, Chris, the rest of this day, we do have tears, but we're not a glum lot. We're ready to go party. We're ready to go enjoy rock and roll. So, Marty, just thank you so much for coming on with us today.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you all.
And, Chris, we'll be back a little bit. Fans, interviews, and guys, just look up How to Save a Life Foundation .org. How to Save a Life Foundation.org.
How to Save a Life Foundation.org.
Did we say it again? How to Save a Life. .org. All right, I think we got it. All right, thank you so much, Chris. I'll be back in about 15 minutes. Thanks, Chris.
And that was Kevin King. He's reporting live and from Silverstock all the way in beautiful Pittsburgh. They're doing a big concert out there. And speaking of big concerts, next week, that's right, we won't be on. We'll be up in Orlando at Mayhem. But you know what? Rockers in Recovery's got a big concert coming up at the First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach, 450 Southwest 2nd Street, Pompano Beach, Florida, 33060. Come on by. It's free. We got free food brought to you by Miami Subs Grill because guess what? Miami Subs is our brand new sponsor, baby. So we got real food out there, along with Ricky Byrd and the Recovery Rockers featuring Kazim Sultan, Richie Supa, along with Johnny B and the Road Dogs, Keep Coming Back Band, Thrown Alive, and Rhetoric will all be playing for free. Come on down. Check it out. That's next Saturday, Memorial Day weekend, for free. First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach, 450 Southwest 2nd Street, Pompano Beach, Florida, 33060. Call for more information, 954-826-4920. Call now. Find out what's going on. We'll see you next week. We'll be right back with more. That Sci-Fi Show, Rockers in Recovery.
Free concert. Rockers in Recovery Memorial Day Weekend Concert, May 28th from 1:30 to 6:30 p.m. featuring Ricky Byrd, guitarist of the NYC Hit Squad and formerly of Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, along with Kazim Sultan, bassist of Todd Rundgren and Utopia, Mick Jagger, and Celine Dion. Plus 3 other great bands, Johnny B and the Road Dogs, Keep Coming Back Band, and Rhetoric. Come out and join us at the First Step Sober House Memorial Day Free Concert at 450 Southwest 2nd Street, Pompano Beach. To find out more, go to rockersinrecovery.com or call 877-799-8773. Attention, the 4th annual 12-Step Music Fest is coming November 3rd through the 6th in Sugarloaf Key, Florida. 4 days of music and fun with 12 musical acts along with the Rockers in Recovery Supergroup featuring Ricky Byrd, guitarist formerly of Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, Liberty DeVito, formerly of Billy Joel, Woody Geisman of the Del Fuegos, Kazim Sultan of Todd Rundgren and Utopia, Christine Ullman of the Saturday Night Live Band, and 4 more to be announced by September. Find out more about this sober Woodstock in Sugarloaf Key by joining rockersinrecovery.com or by calling 877-799-8773.
My name is Charles Becker. If you or a loved one has been injured in an accident due to the negligence of another, care enough to hire Beckert & Associates to protect your rights. We are an AV-rated law firm and have 45 years of combined experience. We are all former prosecutors and have all worked for the insurance companies, so we know what they're up to. They have their attorneys, and so should you. When involved in an accident, remember, you may be entitled to $10,000 in medical or lost wages under your PIP policy. In addition, you may receive payments for your pain, suffering, or for the suffering of a loved one. Contact us at 954-941-8363 or visit us on the web at southfloridaattorney.com.
The hiring of an attorney is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertising. Ask for free written information about the firm's qualifications and experience.
It's the hottest new addiction recovery mega community on the web, Rockers in Recovery. music, news, interviews, events, and festivals with an insider's angle to the rock and roll industry. All backed up by artists who are in recovery and support recovery. Featuring dozens of rock legends like former Joan Jett and the Blackhearts lead guitarist Ricky Byrd, Richie Supa of Aerosmith, and tons more. It's a worldwide music and media festival at your fingertips. Get inside the rock and roll recovery scene with a click of your mouse. Click rockersinrecovery.com. That's rockersinrecovery.com.
When you're ready for a major change, make the natural choice for addiction treatment, the G&G Holistic Addiction Treatment Program. Our approach is all natural at G&G, where holistic treatments direct you to a healthy, sober way of life without substituting one addiction for another. We're a leader in the area of holistic addiction recovery, dual diagnosis, and relapse treatment. With 22 years of experience, we have thousands of success stories. Our staff is all in-house to help you ensure your success the all-natural, holistic way. Don't wait another minute. Call G&G Holistic right now at 800-559-9503. Counselors are standing by to start you on the all-natural road to recovery at G&G Holistic. Call 800-559-9503 or log on to holisticdrugrehab.com. Make the natural choice for addiction treatment. The G&G Holistic Addiction Treatment Program. Success, the all-natural, holistic way.
Hey, this is John Hollis with Rockers in Recovery. We want to thank our sponsor for tonight's show, Hyperbarics RX. You can reach them at hyperbaricsrx.com, or you can reach them at 877-589-9998. Thank you.
And we are back with more Rockers in Recovery. I'm your host, Chris West. And right now, Kevin King's up there at Silverstock. He's walking around trying to get some more interviews from all the guests that are up there, all the celebrities. They got lots of bands that are playing up there in Philly. It's a great time going on. But speaking of great times going on, for free, next weekend, Memorial Day weekend, Rockers in Recovery, we're doing another great big weekend concert kind of day. You know, May 18th from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Memorial Day weekend. Free food brought to you by our brand new sponsor, Miami Subs Grills. You know, how cool is that, Amy? We got, a real food sponsor, Miami Subs Grills.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like food?
Who doesn't like free food?
Free food, yeah, for that matter.
So all you got to do, next Saturday, show up at the First Step Sober House in Pompano Beach, 450 Southwest 2nd Street, Pompano Beach, Florida, 33060. And if you can't find it, go ahead and call this number, 954-826-4920. That's 954-826-4920. You got Ricky Bird's going to be out there with the Recovery Rockers Band featuring Chasm Sultan, Richie Supa, along with Johnny B and the Road Dogs, Keep Coming Back Band, Thrown Alive, and Rhetoric. It's going to be a great time. Unfortunately, me and Amy won't be there. We'll be up at Mayhem.
Yeah.
But we will be here for the 12-Step Music Fest, which is coming later this year.
Yeah, awesome.
Which we now have interns that we can leave running the board, so we can actually go down to the 12-Step Music Fest.
Good job.
The second year in a row that we missed that.
Yeah, I know.
Here at that sci-fi show. So today, if you hadn't realized, we normally have a Robert Gluck show going on here at 3 o'clock, but we got this big Soberstock thing going on, and to help out Phil out, we decided that we'd take over some time from help Kevin catch a breath in between breaks and running down people. He's always doing a lot of things going on. So why don't we just go ahead and dive into the sci-fi news and stuff and get you inundated with what goes on in our show, That Sci-Fi Show, 4 to 6 every Saturday, right? Holistic Lifestyles Radio Network. And you can always find us at thatscifishow.com. And big story today coming out that Tron director just got $100 million and Tom Cruise to direct a new movie based on the comic book Oblivion.
Nice.
Yes. Not only did, this was like for weeks now.
A nice budget.
$100 million?
Cruise.
Really? Yeah.
And Tom Cruise. Is he getting most of it, I wonder?
No, apparently it's $100 million and Tom Cruise.
Oh, really?
Yes, he gets both.
Nice.
Yeah, well, Tom Cruise kind of signed on for this project a while back, but it's always kind of been Universal Pictures didn't want to go through with it, and it didn't make. Tron Legacy didn't make what now is the industry standard apparently for sci-fi films, Avatar money.
Yeah.
That just needs to be burnt to the ground. You can't compare. Everybody that was like the one sci-fi film that can't be considered a sci-fi film because everybody liked it.
Oh, come on.
No.
Just because everybody liked it?
Terrible movie.
Well, you didn't like it.
I didn't watch it.
I know, you didn't see it. I saw the end. It was on, somebody was watching, I don't know. I saw the end. It looked interesting.
Yeah, pass.
I wanted to see it just to see people in blue.
So the Smurfs weren't good enough for you growing up?
I thought they were the grown-up Smurfs.
What about the Blue Man Group? You never heard of those guys? And they're feeling in Vegas, and the Blue Man Group is awesome.
Yeah, they are. Better than Avatar, I guess.
Yes, the Blue Man Group is definitely better than Avatar.
They're the ones that play drums and stuff, right?
Yes, they play like pipes and stuff like that.
Right.
They make instruments out of everyday objects.
That's right.
And they're all covered in blue.
Right. Their faces, at least, right?
Their faces and hands.
Oh, and their hands? Oh, that's right, because you see their hands doing...
Yeah. And then they wear the all black,
right.
turtleneck and black slacks kind of deal.
Yeah.
So before we get to this next break, big news here for all us sci-fi geeks. For the first time ever, a show has beat out downloads.
Yes. Tell us, Chris.
Yes, Doctor Who, the oldest
and are
show
you
in the
surprised? Because I'm not.
I'm from Doctor Who. No, not at all. Not at all. Well, the Christmas special had over 3.29 million people that just recorded it.
Yeah. Gotta love that DVR.
We broke that with 4.1.
Wow.
4.1
hey, I DVR it because, it's on Saturday night.
Saturday night,
date night.
8 o'clock. Well, I get out of the station here late.
Record
I can't always make it home on time.
Watch it the next day.
Exactly.
Sleep in and wake up and watch it.
Fast forward through the commercials.
Exactly. That's what I love. That's how I watch every program. I never watch anything live anymore. I just DVR it, watch it the next day, or watch it on my demand.
On Netflix, I don't watch it.
Yeah, fast forward commercials. Now, if they don't have a special button that would skip the commercials, you just press the button, it would skip them all and go right to the next scene.
Seriously?
Yeah. Well, my demand does that. They have little itty bitty commercials in there for 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, those are okay.
And I fast forward that too.
Yeah, well.
Because I can.
Nobody likes commercials. Nobody likes to be told what to buy.
Exactly.
Especially when we got no money. And, speaking about people that have no money, if you have no money and you're looking for something cool to go do, next weekend, Memorial Day weekend, right here on the Holistic Lifestyles Radio Network, we got a big concert coming on. I know I'm talking about it a lot, and I'm not going to stop talking about it because it's going to be a really cool time, and I'm a little bit upset I'm not going to get to go there. But at the same time, I'm also getting to go to Orlando to interview Bruce Campbell. So more about that on that sci-fi show later today. We are working on that, right? I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
He's definitely interested. He actually emailed me himself. I was very impressed. He didn't have his assistant or whatever. It was him.
Nice.
So just working out the details of when he'll be available during the time we're there to interview him. So
for all you regular people out there trying to figure out who's Bruce Campbell.
Oh, come on. Go to brucecampbell.com.
Well, yeah, even easier, he's the old guy, he's the older spy in Burn Notice, because everybody knows Burn Notice, apparently.
That's true.
Whenever I ask them, it's like, Army of Darkness? No. Evil Dead? No. Burn Notice? Yeah, I've seen that show.
Nice.
He's the old guy that drinks
like
wine.
Xena? No.
Well, yeah, Xena. Well,
yeah, he was in Xena.
Yeah, he was.
Yes, he was.
He was. You're right.
Absolutely.
I forgot about that. Jack of all trades.
Mm-hmm. That was him.
Briscoe County Jr.
Briscoe County Jr. I love that show. It was so awesome, and I was disappointed they canceled it.
Yes, well, that's the Bruce Campbell curse there, but we'll find out more about the Bruce Campbell curse.
And I'm working on other guests already.
And other guests.
Yes, I'm working on Anthony Michael Hall and Sean Patrick Flannery, of course, and Chris is going to have to hold me back on that one.
I will try my best.
I'll be drooling.
But while we are away getting these interviews, we won't be live. We will actually be taking the time off because John Hollis and Rockers in Recovery are doing their big Memorial Day weekend picnic, free concert at the First Step Sober House. They got Ricky Bird of the Rockers in Recovery group, the Recovery Rockers, featuring Chasm Sultan, Richie Supa, along with Johnny B and the Road Dogs. Keep Coming Back Band, Throne Alive Rhetoric. Free food brought to you by Miami Subs and Grill, our brand new sponsor. So you can get some chicken wings. You're going to get some, the gyros. That's what I really like about them, the gyros.
I want to be there.
Fast food gyros need to make a comeback because we don't have falafel down here.
No, we don't.
It's not like New York.
Mm-mm.
No, we either need falafel or more of this. But you know what? You get to try it.
You're making me hungry.
I know.
I had cereal this morning. That was it.
Well. They do say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but
lunch
is, a close second.
I'll make up for it when I go to Ale House tonight.
All right. Well,
get me them shrimps.
There you go.
They got some good shrimps.
I don't know. Does Miami Sub have shrimps?
I don't know.
Well, you know what? If you come to the concert, you'll find out. They got all sorts of great food. Miami Subs and Grill, First Step Sober House, Pompano Beach, 450 Southwest 2nd Street, next Saturday, May 28th, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Free food, free concert. Ricky Bird, Richie Supa, Cassie Colton. Yeah, I know. Free.
And we're not here again.
No. We're up.
It's very disappointing. I mean, we're going to have a good time and all. Don't get me wrong, but
we keep missing the concerts because of conflicting dates.
I know. Last time we were at a convention.
We need to give John the official con schedule. For
I say, look, this is the con schedule, and work around us. Let's come.
Unfortunately, everything takes place around a major holiday.
And that's when conventions are.
Exactly. Do it the week after the major holiday, John. No, he can't do that. Nobody would show up.
People are off. They take the 3-day weekend.
Take the 3-day weekend. Come on down. First Step Sober House in Pompano Beach, 450 Southwest 2nd Street, Pompano Beach, Florida, 33060.
Free food.
Need information
free
on how
music.
to get there, places to stay, what's around, 954-826-4920. First Step Sober House. Call Chris. Get him working because he never shows up on Sunday nights anymore, and I have to poke a jab. And if you listen on Sunday nights, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we're going to go out and take this next break. When we get back, we'll try to get Mr. King back on the phone from Soberstock up in Philly with his next guest. I'm Chris West. She's Sci-Fi Amy. We'll be right back.
Well, I picked up some bad habits, and they kept me running hard. I went against my better judgment. I even turned my back on God. On the streets I met my demons.
Free concert. Rockers in Recovery Memorial Day Weekend Concert, May 28th from 1:30 to 6:30 p.m. featuring Ricky Bird, guitarist of the NYC Hit Squad and formerly of Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, along with Kasim Sultan, bassist of Todd Rundgren and Utopia, Mick Jagger, and Celine Dion. Plus 3 other great bands, Johnny B and the Road Dogs, Keep Coming Back Band, and Rhetoric. Come out and join us at the First Step Sober House Memorial Day Free Concert at 450 Southwest 2nd Street, Pompano Beach. To find out more, go to rockersinrecovery.com or call 877-799-8773. Silence calms the mind and rejuvenates the body. God Pillow has been inspiring daily devotions for over 11 years. God Pillows are custom made with love and intention. We encourage you to become part of our community. Come visit God Pillow on the World Wide Web at godpillow.com.
Let me tell you about the Sound Pillow. Sound Pillow helps many people in early addiction recovery who suffer from stress, anxiety, fear, and long sleepless nights to get a comfortable night's sleep by providing a calming and soothing feeling for the mind's everyday distractions. Sound Pillow allows the mind to shut down, the body to relax, and the spirit to heal. Go online to soundpillow.com. That's soundpillow.com. And while you're there, check out the many endorsements from people and addiction treatment centers using the Sound Pillow. Don't lose another night's sleep. Call toll-free today, 877-846-6488. That's 877-846-6488. And let the healing begin. Go online to soundpillow.com. That's www.soundpillow.com.
It's the hottest new addiction recovery mega community on the web. Rockers in Recovery. Music, news, interviews, events, and festivals with an insider's angle to the rock and roll industry. All backed up by artists who are in recovery and support recovery. Featuring dozens of rock legends like former Joan Jett and the Blackhearts lead guitarist Ricky Bird, Richie Supa of Aerosmith, and tons more. It's a worldwide music and media festival at your fingertips. Get inside the rock and roll recovery scene with a click of your mouse. Click rockersinrecovery.com. That's rockersinrecovery.com.
Hey, this is John Hollis with Rockers in Recovery. We want to thank our sponsor for tonight's show, Hyperbarics RX. You can reach them at hyperbaricsrx.com, or you can reach them at 877-589-9998. Thank you.
And we are back with more of Rockers in Recovery, and I got my boy Kevin King. He's up at Sober Stock up there in Philly, having a great time running around, listening to all the music. Kevin, what's going on, brother? Who you got with us next time? Not at all. It's absolutely tragic, and we're going to go ahead and put that link up also on that sci-fi-show.com. Save. What is it once more, Kevin? How to Save a Life Foundation.org. Check it out today. Get on your computer. Do what you can to help out. Everybody needs a second chance in life, and you know it. We all need to be willing to give it. I know personally I have 3 or 4 on my side and probably many more in my future.
The things I did to just not feel the pain, like drinking myself slowly down the drain. Anything to fix me.
That's right. That's our boy Kevin King up at Sober Stock in Philadelphia. And just another reminder, as I said, I'm going to push this down your throat all day long, baby. Next weekend, Memorial Day weekend, May 28th, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach. We got a big concert going on. Music by Ricky Byrd and the Recovery Rockers Band, featuring Chasm Sultan, Richie Supa, along with Johnny B and the Road Dogs. Keep Coming Back Band, Throne Alive and Rhetoric will all be playing. Free food brought to you by Miami Subs Grill. That's right. We're going to have gyros. We're going to have subs. We're going to have wings. Free. And guess what? There's no ticket cost because the concert is also free. All you have to do is show up at the First Step Sober House in Pompano, 450 Southwest 2nd Street, Pompano Beach, Florida, 33060. If you can't find it, if you're a little lost, go ahead and call 954-826-4920. We'll be back with more Rockers in Recovery.
My wildest dreams were out there waiting. I won't go back.
Make the natural choice for addiction treatment. The G&G Holistic Addiction Treatment Program. Our approach is all natural at G&G, where holistic treatments direct you to a healthy, sober way of life without substituting one addiction for another. We're a leader in the area of holistic addiction recovery, dual diagnosis, and relapse treatment. With 22 years of experience, we have thousands of success stories. Our staff is all in-house to help you ensure your success the all-natural, holistic way. Don't wait another minute. Call G&G Holistic right now at 800-559-9503. Counselors are standing by to start you on the all-natural road to recovery at G&G Holistic. Call 800-559-9503 or log on to holisticdrugrehab.com. Make the natural choice for addiction treatment. The G&G Holistic Addiction Treatment Program. Success, the all-natural, holistic way.
My name is Charles Beckert. If you or a loved one has been injured in an accident due to the negligence of another, care enough to hire Beckert & Associates to protect your rights. We are an AV-rated law firm and have 45 years of combined experience. We are all former prosecutors and have all worked for the insurance companies, so we know what they're up to. They have their attorneys, and so should you. When involved in an accident, remember, you may be entitled to $10,000 in medical or lost wages under your PIP policy. In addition, you may receive payments for your pain, suffering, or for the suffering of a loved one. Contact us at 954-941-8363 or visit us on the web at southfloridaattorney.com.
The hiring of an attorney is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertising. Ask for free written information about the firm's qualifications and experience.
It's the hottest new addiction recovery mega community on the web, Rockers in Recovery. Music, news, interviews, events, and festivals with an insider's angle to the rock and roll industry, all backed up by artists who are in recovery and support recovery, featuring dozens of rock legends like former Joan Jett and the Blackhearts lead guitarist Ricky Byrd, Richie Supa of Aerosmith, and tons more. It's a worldwide music and media festival at your fingertips. Get inside the rock and roll recovery scene with a click of your mouse. Click rockersinrecovery.com. That's rockersinrecovery.com.
Attention, the 4th annual 12-Step Music Fest is coming November 3rd through the 6th in Sugarloaf Key, Florida. 4 days of music and fun with 12 musical acts along with the Rockers in Recovery Supergroup featuring Ricky Byrd, guitarist formerly of Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, Liberty DeVito, formerly of Billy Joel, Woody Geisman of the Del Fuegos, Kason Sultan of Todd Rundgren and Utopia, Christine Ullman of the Saturday Night Live Band, and 4 more to be announced by September. Find out more about this sober Woodstock in Sugarloaf Key by joining rockersinrecovery.com or by calling 877-799-8773.
Let me tell you about the Sound Pillow. Sound Pillow helps many people in early addiction recovery who suffer from stress, anxiety, fear, and long sleepless nights to get a comfortable night's sleep by providing a calming and soothing feeling for the mind's everyday distractions. Sound Pillow allows the mind to shut down, the body to relax, and the spirit to heal. Go online to soundpillow.com. That's soundpillow.com. And while you're there, check out the many endorsements from people and addiction treatment centers using the Sound Pillow. Don't lose another night's sleep. Call toll-free today, 877-846-6488. That's 877-846-6488. And let the healing begin. Go online to soundpillow.com. That's www.soundpillow.com.
Free concert. Rockers in Recovery Memorial Day Weekend Concert, May 28th from 1:30 to 6:30 p.m., featuring Ricky Byrd, guitarist of the NYC Hit Squad and formerly of Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, along with Kason Sultan, bassist of Todd Rundgren and Utopia, Mick Jagger, and Celine Dion. Plus 3 other great bands, Johnny B and the Road Dogs, Keep Coming Back Band, and Rhetoric. Come out and join us at the First Step Sober House Memorial Day Free Concert at 450 Southwest 2nd Street, Pompano Beach. To find out more, go to rockersinrecovery.com or call 877-799-8773.
Hey, this is John Hollis with Rockers in Recovery. We want to thank our sponsor for tonight's show, Hyperbarics RX. You can reach them at hyperbaricsrx.com or you can reach them at 877-589-9998. Thank you.
And we are back with more Rockers in Recovery on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. We got our boy Kevin King up in Philadelphia doing sober stock right now. He's running around trying to find another guest to interview. And while he's doing that, I, Chris West, and my beautiful co-host, Sci-Fi Amy, are here to kind of fill in the time here until we start our show, that Sci-Fi Show, which starts next hour right here on the Holistic Lifestyles Radio Network. Be sure to check it out. That Sci-Fi Show, Saturdays 4 to 6, right here on this beautiful, beautiful little network we got going on.
That sounded so nice.
I know, didn't it? Kind of Bob Rossi there. Happy little trees.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to paint a happy little tree right over here in the corner. You know, if you're having problems sleeping and you're looking for a non-drugged way to fall asleep, you know, if you don't want to get addicted to sleeping pills.
I hate taking pills when I'm tired.
Bob Ross is the perfect sleeping pill.
Yeah.
1 glass of milk and Bob Ross, and you're out in 10 seconds. Guarantee it. It's going to be my new, I got to start doing that, making Bob Ross DVDs.
Yeah.
Have them come with warm glasses of milk. I'll redo sleep therapy altogether.
You know, Brittany likes to have a glass of warm milk before she goes to bed.
That's the thing. I don't know where that came from.
I don't know. I'm like, I don't want to drink warm
Too lazy
warm
to look
milk.
it up, but hey, I don't have a glass of warm milk before bed. I've known that since before I was, before I knew things. I knew that there was always good.
Soothing or something, I guess.
Something about it.
I don't know. It fills you up maybe and makes you tired.
Yeah.
Something in the milk.
Well, yeah, there's tryptophan in milk.
There you go. There's your answer. Tryptophan.
Yeah.
Good old
well,
tryptophan.
Good old tryptophan on Thanksgiving Day.
Yes, it's in turkey.
Yes, well, it's more potent in the turkey than it is in the milk. You'd have to literally drink gallons and gallons and gallons of milk in order for that tryptophan to ever be effective and do anything. So.
Yeah.
And if you've ever watched any internet video, we all know you can't chug a gallon of milk in less than an hour, so don't even try.
It's funny because I was just looking up the tryptophan in the turkey because my coworker was like, I'm so tired. I had this turkey sandwich for lunch. And I'm like, well, there you go. That's why you're tired. There's tryptophan in your turkey, and it makes you tired, Thanksgiving. She's like, oh, okay.
Yes. Gotta love those people we work with, don't you?
Yeah, they're so great.
All right, well, before we close out this hour, once again, coming up next weekend, me and Amy will be out of town, but right here on Rockers in Recovery and the Holistic Lifestyles Radio Network, they're going to be streaming live from the First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach. Ricky Byrd, the Recovery Rockers, featuring Chasm Sultan, Richie Supa, along with Johnny B. and the Road Dogs. Keep Coming Back Band, Throne Alive, Rhetoric, all going to be playing for free. Food, hot dogs, hamburgers, all sorts of, goodness is going to be, sit there, free by Miami Subs Grill, a brand new sponsor. We like to thank our sponsors, who do such a great job of making sure that we can come on the air and, talk about all this great stuff and get out the news to everybody. And all our great sponsors today are, we got God Pillow, Sound Pillow, Beckert & Associates, Hyperbarics RX, First Step Sober House, D&D Holistics, and the 12-Step Music Fest. Be sure to check it out, as well as we got our big concert next week. I keep, saying this, but, Ricky Byrd, Chasm Sultan, Richie Supa all together. 2 great guitarists and a really, really badass bassist. Kind of, a little upset that I get to miss that, but I know I'm going to get to see him at the 12-Step Music Fest later this year. But you can see them for free coming up May 28th, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., Memorial Day weekend, free at the First Step Sober House in Pompano Beach, 450 Southwest 2nd Street, Pompano Beach, Florida, 33060. If you need directions, if you get lost, you need somewhere to call, just go ahead and give Chris a call, 954-826-4920. And that's Chris from, if you listen on the Sunday night show, if we ever can get him in, we have a problem. Sometimes his sports tend to get in the way. And, that's the good thing about us sci-fi people. We're just not in the sports, so it never gets in the way of showing up to work. So shame, Chris. So we're going to have everybody go ahead and give, him a call, 954-826-4920. Get your, I'd say get your tickets, but there are no tickets. It's free. All you have to do is show up.
Free.
Free.
Gotta love free.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to knock out this hour of Rockers in Recovery. Next hour is that sci-fi show. We're going to continue taking calls from our boy Kevin King, who's up at Stoverstock in Philly, and, continuing to share the love as we like to do right here on the Holistic Lifestyles Radio Network. Yeah, that sounds good when you say it right under me like that. So let's go out with a little Aerosmith.
Gotta love Aerosmith.
Oh, yeah. Well, Richie Supa, baby.
Right.
So, and, next weekend he'll be here. We'll be up at Mayhem, but when we get back, we'll have Bruce Campbell interviews. We'll have interviews from everybody. It's going to be a great time for us. And, we'll see you then. But we'll be back in a couple minutes with more of that sci-fi show, more of Kevin King, live from Soberstock. I'm Chris West. She's Sci-Fi Amy. We'll be right back.
preceding program is a Rockers in Recovery radio production. Rights to this program are the sole rights of Rockers in Recovery Radio, Incorporated. Rebroadcast of this program in any form without express written consent is prohibited.
Here's hoping you're healthy and wealthy. South Florida's Health and Wealth Radio Network. AM 1470, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
AM 1470 with even more information you can use. It's talk radio for adults. Tune in for cutting-edge insight on the issues affecting your generation. Don't miss A Touch of Gray, Saturday afternoons at 1, only on AM 1470 WNN, South Florida's Health and Wealth Network.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help armed men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals, because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Hi, I'm Mia Hamm. As a professional soccer player and a future soccer mom, I know how fun and rewarding sports can be. I also know how frustrating it is when you're sidelined by an injury. So I've teamed up with the American Association of Orthodontists to ask young athletes to play it safe when playing sports. I spent years training to become a world-class athlete. I know what it takes to become an expert on the field. Orthodontists understand this too. They're experts in their field, helping kids and adults obtain healthy, beautiful smiles. They want to help athletes prevent injuries and stay in the game. It only takes a second to get hurt, and too many athletes are risking injury because they're not properly equipped during games and practices. Wear the right protective gear, like mouth guards, face masks, and helmets, your first line of defense against preventable injuries. Play it safe, achieve your goals, and keep smiling. Visit braces.org.
What you want to know. What you need to know. This is South Florida's Health and Wealth Radio, AM 1470, WNN.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. This is Stern on the Street with your host, Senior Financial Advisor Michael Stern, brought to you by Stern Investments. This program is your inside track to cutting-edge strategies that will help you to navigate today's uncertain financial climate. If you have any questions about the broadcast, call toll-free at 866-361-8695. That's 866-361-8695. Or go online to sterninvestments.com. Now, with today's program, here's your host, Michael Stern.
This is Michael Stern coming to you from Newbridge Securities. You're listening to Stern on the Street, featuring me. As always, I'll start off with a mission statement, and this show was born out of the tumultuous markets of the late 90s going into the post 9/11 era. It is my intention to bring my clients, my listeners, what I believe to be quality, undervalued, and misunderstood situations that evolved from this volatility. I do that by trying to teach you, to educate, and inform you, the investor, to work towards your financial goals. Now, that being said, you need to have goals in place. You need to have a investment plan, and we do that first. Try to integrate whatever you're holding, anything that's a laggard, anything that's a non-performer, you need to get rid of, and then you need to reassess whether some of that stuff really meets your objectives. Look at your risk profile. Look at your objectives. How many clients haven't redefined these objectives in the last 10 or 15 years? Things have changed. You've gotten a little older. You might want a little bit more income. You may not want to take as much risk in the market. And certainly things do change. So the fixed income oriented people out there, in this environment where we've got the 10-year Treasury right now at come on, little computer, 3.12. So it's lower, yield is lower, bonds are higher than they've been over the past couple months. And we were talking bond bubbles. Well, there's no bubble. They've actually gone up, and the yields have gone down. So being that there's no bond bubble, being that it is difficult to get a good return on your money, what I try to do here is mitigate risk with some of the lower rated bonds, higher interest paying. And I try to mix and mingle those. So you get an average current yield that's a little higher than normally would be, and at least reasonable enough to be able to live off of it. So, again, for those out there, we structure some of our own products here, and we don't structure a Newbridge CD. We structure like a Citibank CD, paying 8%, going out 20 years, callable in a year, and it does revert to a formula after the first year. It goes 4 times the 30-year Treasury swap minus the 2-year Treasury swap minus 80 basis points. So it is by prospectus. You need to look at it. You're going to want to understand it before you get involved. This one pays quarterly. And again, if you're getting 8% on a CD that's FDIC insured.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess? Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually. Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.